Good morning. Or is it morning? Well, actually here where I'm at it's evening, but we got a bit of work ahead of us again. As you can see, we do have a fair bit of money, and that's for good cause. We've done a lot of work off on the side and then behind the scenes. And another thing that I noticed was that we just graduated to owning a few more pigs. So let's just have a quick look at our pigs and see what that looks like. Hop on over. Our pigs seem to be doing quite well. So 100 animals in here. And what did we start with? We didn't have that many. I don't remember what we started with, but we've definitely made some improvements. We can see wool is stacking up nicely, but we're not over full yet. Alright, we're going to take a quick look and see what we got. 40 sheep, 100% health, perfect. Well then, there's our new tractor, but we need to see how the chickens are doing while we're thinking of it. And I got a feeling that our TMR is going to get full at some point too. But let's just do a real quick check on the chickens. Still room for more eggs, that's good. And how are we doing here? Doesn't really oh, there we are. I guess I had to point at them or something. Can't quite tell what makes it go, but there we are. 500 chickens, 100% health, and 28,000 liters. There we go. So 500 chickens, that is incredible. And while we're thinking about what we're doing here, let's go over and see how our corn is. We did this field last time, didn't we? The barley. Well, there's our corn. It's looking alright. They're just starting to dry out now. It's beautiful. Yeah, you can see the ears are starting to dry out a little bit. Wonderful. Alrighty. And then one last check would be our honeybees and see how full they are. Looking empty, but it's also auto-loading in this trailer, so our trailer's not quite full, but it will be at some point. Very good. I do have a plan in place as to what we're going to do, and let's get right into it. Now, what I was thinking about, and you guys can let me know in the comments if you guys agree or not, but field number 4 has been dormant for an entire year, and nobody's doing anything with it. So I figure we can maybe take a look at that. It's valued at just under 314,000. So it's not a bad deal. I think we should buy that. You guys in agreement? It fits nicely with the rest of our fields here. So combine wouldn't have far to go, and it would by far be our biggest field other than number 3. Well, they might be pretty close to the same size. So if we're all in agreement, then let's go ahead and buy it. Perfect. So what we're going to do, we're going to go grab our tractors. And we're going to go plant that field, and I got just the crop I'm looking forward to planting. You can see the field right over here. There's our silos, so it's just in behind our field, our main shop yard. And we're going to be planting canola here. That is the plan. And the reason for the canola, it offers a pretty high price, and it's an oil seed, and we haven't done much of that yet, so why not? And that'll be for next year. Alright, let's go. There we are. Found the other tractor. So I'm going to take this one. I'm also going to hook it up to another seed drill, and it's also going to go and plant canola. As you can tell, we got 3 seed drills, and eventually we'll be getting rid of those and getting a proper setup, but for now, it's still doing the job. So we are not complaining, are we? We're going to bring this one sort of toward the middle of the field. And then maybe we'll get the new tractor that we just got and we'll put it on the other end of the field. That could be something we could try. But we got to change this to Canola first before we set this man in motion. Alright. Right about there. Beautiful. Off he goes. Ah, looks good. Tractors have no issues pulling that. Oh, I guess we gotta go the other way. Let me see. There it is. Perfect. Last of the tractors, and this one should have no issue with that seed drill. If it does, I'm gonna be awful disappointed. Because this one should, with 120 horse, should be able to pull this. No problem at all. Here we have it. And we will send this fella to the far end of the field, where he can start and make his way toward the other two. And while our tractors are all busy doing their job, I think we're going to borrow these items and we shall send another one of our workers out to use our neighbor's equipment and cultivate. We don't normally use big equipment like this, but hey, if the neighbor's got it, why not? We may as well take advantage and use it to the best of our abilities. So I'm going to set this one off on field number 9 and we will go from there. With that new semi we got in the last episode, this truck suddenly does not have as much use for a fifth wheel. So I figured, you know what? We'll bring it to the shop and we're going to get a little work done on it. So let me show you what we're doing. We'll bring her over here, just like so. And then we're going to have us a look. We'll do the repair, the repaint, little repair, and now the customization. We're going for the long wheelbase this time. Just like that. Perfect. And we're going standard. Although we do like the low rear hitch. That is great. So that's perfect. And mud protectors short model. I'm not sure what it is. Everything else looks fine. That's... yeah, that looks alright to me. So, customize. $750. Perfect. Alright. So we take a look. Our truck now has a longer frame. Funny how it works so quick. But the reason for getting a longer frame is actually kind of easy to explain. Because as long as we don't need a short frame semi anymore, we may as well get the most use out of it. So I'm going to put on a nice deck on it. This way, if we do need to haul a few skids, we're able to do so. And if we still want to tow stuff, we're still able to do so with that rear hitch. And it's only a little over $4,000. So that's perfect. We'll jump in the truck and let's put our new deck on. Should be right on over there. Just back on in. It should clip right in place as if it was custom made for us. Look at that. Beautiful. Now we got triple straps. We got the little strobe lights on it. We are laughing now. Wonderful. Alright. This truck goes back to the yard and we'll see you guys there. It actually doesn't look too bad. Sitting next to its big brother, I think that's alright. And I'm sure we'll find plenty of uses for it. But we should probably be checking in on our tractors to see how they're making out with the planting. So I'm gonna just meander on over this way, and we'll have us a look and see what it looks like. I know I could always open up the map like this and take a look, but sometimes it's just nice to poke your head out at the field and just see what it actually looks like. This one's coming up on this side here, so we're going to take a look at that first. I will need to fertilize yet, and it looks like we will have to gather stones at some point too. But yeah, that's running all right. Seems to be moving along fairly quickly, which is exactly what I wanted to see. That's beautiful. Now, on top of the cultivating that we're doing, I did take on 2 fertilizing missions on field number 12 as well as field number 2. So as you can see, my cash flow is very quickly getting depleted, which is not ideal, but hopefully it'll pay itself out. That's the hope. Otherwise we may have shot ourselves in the foot. But my one planter decided to catch on to this round bale that for some reason I had laying around. And so I figured, you know what, we're sitting around waiting for the rest of the fields to finish up. We may as well scoop up that round bale and bring it on over to back to the farm, so it's not in anyone's way and we're not constantly catching it. So that's kind of what I'm doing here now. A little bit of chores, if you will. Yeah, that's the bale right there. There's the guilty party. See if we can sneak in there and grab that. Perfect. Alright. I'm off back to my yard. Maybe we'll see you over there somewhere. I'm just taking a look at the map here, and you can see how our field number 4 here is getting planted. Shouldn't take too terribly long yet. And then the cultivating going on over here. And then we have one fertilized tractor here as well as one here. This one's almost done. I might be able to take this one and throw them on that one. We'll have to see. Let's just see what the fertilizing looks like, because I get a feeling that as soon as this map loads, oh my goodness, there's a lot of stones everywhere, shall we say. Other than my fields, for some reason my fields don't have a lot of stones. That is kind of funny. I should have just never enabled stones from the start. Then we wouldn't have had this style of map. But that's okay. The yellow stones here are for smaller stones, and then the red is for the much larger stones. So you can see there's a bunch of small stones here, which we noticed earlier too. And of course my grass field has 0 stones. Because why would it not? Both of our fertilizing contracts are now complete, which is wonderful. Cultivating is about 3/4. That's just lovely. And I'm moving a bit of silage and a bit of hay, and also selling a little bit of TMR, so yeah, don't mind me. Just kind of doing my thing here. And we're gonna save content as well, because always good to save your content. This game happens to crash more often than a drunk driver after a Thanksgiving dinner. Can I just say though, our new tractor is performing splendidly. Like, it's quite surprising how well it's been working so far. And I'm not at all opposed to that. In fact, I find it quite satisfying. So this is the 1246, and so far we've been having a good time with it. You can see the other Farmall 1206 in the background. And it's also doing a fairly good job. The Case 970 is struggling a little bit. It plants alright, but it's a little bit slower. Well, a fair bit slower. Like this thing is pulling this seed drill, no issue whatsoever. That's kind of what you want to see. But you know, I figure let's just to get ahead of ourselves a little bit. Let's see what else we have here for planters. You can see they go up very quickly in power. Like even this tiny little one, 165 horse, 125. So this would really match with our 1246, and it's only 3 meters. So, you know, all of these are terrible. 180, you know, that's somewhere down the road. And then this one is only 60. So we may have to hook a few of these together and see what happens. But if I remember correctly, the workers don't know how to back these, and so therefore it creates massive issues. So we may be on the lookout for a different seed drill or a different seeder that would suit our needs a little better. Here you go, you can kind of see what we're dealing with. You know, we love our 970, it's a gorgeous tractor. But as you can see, it's puffing along. The new tractor is doing about 18 clicks an hour, and this thing is doing 12. Sometimes it bogs down to 10. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad for being a small little tractor that it is. But I think we can definitely use the big tractor to finish up this field. Should make it a fair bit quicker. I may even just try to hook this one up to the other one just to see what happens. Yeah, perhaps. And perhaps that's too much playing around. Maybe we just get the field done as quick as we can. Well, I just sold a whole bunch of silage, and I gotta say, I should probably pay more attention to making silage, because that was, mind you, it was a fairly big field that we, or a fairly big silo that we emptied out, but at the same time, that was a fair chunk of money. I think it was somewhere around the tune of $600,000. I may have to set up some bunkers somewhere. Who knows? Maybe that's what we'll end up doing. You know, I have been thinking, as of recent anyway, that maybe what the better idea would be is if we would move the shop. Oh, I went through a ditch. That's terrible. Maybe if we move the shop a little closer, you know, there's lots of flat land here. We could move the shop here, put all of our equipment in there, and maybe put up some silage bunkers and hay bunkers and whatnot where our shop is currently. That could be a really good idea. We'll have to see how that would all fit, but that might be for another episode. We've got just the smallest little strip left there, and the one tractor is making his way back, so I can go and park this planter as well. Our cultivating is so nearly finished. I believe it's about 95% done, so we're doing all right there as well. And I think pretty much now would be a great time to end the episode, seeing as everything is tidied up for the most part. So I would like to wish you guys all a fantastic rest of your day. I do hope that we will see you again shortly, and until that time, you guys take care of yourselves, and if I don't see you before, happy holidays, and we will catch you all next time.